Peter Pringle, l'Irlandais, a passé 25 ans dans le couloir de la mort pour le meurtre de 2 policiers qu'il n'avait pas commis. Ahmed Haou, le Marocain, a connu les prisons du régime autoritaire d'Hassan II. Il raconte leur chemin de croix et la saveur de leur liberté retrouvée.
It was the confinement within very restrictive conditions. I was held in a death cell where there was no natural light and where very powerful fluorescent lights were on 24/7, and I was compelled to be in the presence of at least 2 jailers at all times. So there was no quiet there. It wasn't quiet there, and it was a very difficult place to be in, and I wasn't allowed to speak to other prisoners, and other prisoners were not allowed to speak to me. But they had been told by the jail authorities that 2 of them would have to participate in my execution, and they were discussing in my presence, in my sight and in my hearing, quite close by me, what role they might have to play and how much extra money they would get for doing that job, because this of course would not be part of their normal work, and whether they would be asked to volunteer or they would be instructed to carry out the job. And they concluded that the role they would have to play would be that when my body would come down to the gallows, the execution would have been by hanging, and when my body would pass down to the gallows, there would be 2 jailers underneath, and each one would have to pull on one of my legs to make sure my neck was broken. And that conversation was carried on in my sight and hearing and presence, as if I didn't exist, as if I was not a human being.
La chose la plus difficile, c'est le silence total. Dans le couloir de la mort, c'est qui te torture le plus, c'est ce silence. Car lorsqu'il y a un bruit, tu dis voilà, ils devront aller pour m'exécuter. Donc tu dois vivre dans une cellule où la lumière ne s'éteint pas. Tu ne peux pas dormir la nuit, car c'est la nuit où on peut t'exécuter. Donc, tu vis avec les gros rats, avec les cafards. Donc cette attente de la mort, c'est une torture.
When I was released out of the courthouse onto the street, I was met by a huge body of media with cameras and microphones, and they were all throwing questions at me and taking photographs, and it was surreal. It was like I was free, but I wasn't free. And then that night I stayed with friends in Dublin. They had a beautiful house up in a lovely square in Dublin on the suburbs, and I went to bed and slept very well. And the following morning I was up early and I went down to the kitchen before anybody else was up, and I went out into the back garden. They had a lovely back garden which was quite long, and it was a lovely sunny day, and I could hear the birds singing, and there were no big walls around me and no barbed wire around me, and the sky was beautiful and the birds were singing, and I walked down to the garden, and at the bottom of the garden there was this very old apple tree, and I put my arms around the trunk of the apple tree and I wept.
La première chose, je dois aller à la mer. C'est une falaise très dangereuse. Comme un mur. J'ai attendu que la vague vienne, elle m'a remonté. Et j'ai fait une 2e fois la même chose, mais la 3e fois, la vague s'était éloignée. Je vois l'Atlantique devant moi. Je dis adieu la vie, mais je pense à mon gardien. Il m'a fait un plaisir. Et si je meurs, c'est lui qui va payer. Et même il ne sache pas où je suis. Donc c'est après, c'est une vague qui vient. Elle m'a emporté. Et enfin, c'est une sensation comme une plume. Pour moi, c'est une étape de ma vie la plus heureuse. Cette occasion-là, ça m'a donné cette sensation que je n'ai jamais sentie.